video help, I'm going to be covering the tenant billing report. I've already brought up another new record that was not in the samples until now, and I'll point out that what we have here is a situation where this can be used as a statement, and I'll explain what I mean by that. A tenant in the unit that we're looking at here, apartment unit at 300 West, you can go ahead and do a find to find the 300 West and also the individual Bingham. And what that would do is it would go ahead and bring up all of the past paid and current and billed stuff. For example, like this one has a formatting where if the bill was not paid, it is going to highlight that in a different color, so you can see that that bill is still outstanding and has a negative balance as far as that's concerned. But as you can see here, the actual billing paid date is not paid, but the billing actual date is a ways off as far as this report is concerned, so it is not due as at this time. So when the billing is actually paid, this amount will turn back to a positive amount and then adjust the balances down at the bottom of the summary of the total. So now looking at this, it also summarizes all the current amounts that have been paid and the amounts that have been due since the original billing was started. So when you're running a billing and you want to send it out to a client, you can do one of two things. You can send it via email, you can print a copy out and then send it to that person, or they can come in if you have an office and pick up the bill or pay it at the same time. But you want to be able to bill them ahead and send something to them so they have adequate time to pay the bill, to be there and present. You can't rely on people remembering that they're supposed to be due at a certain time during the month. Of course, you can also, in some respects, send them an email, and you could include this in the email depending on how if you have HTML type of email, to actually put it in the email and send it to them. There are facilities on the iPad to take the screen and make a PDF, add it to an email, and send it if you want to. All those are options that you can weigh and see if you want to do that. Now, one of the other things I want to point out in this report is that there is a highlighted in red, actually turns out to be a button, where instead of cluttering this report up with lots of buttons, for example, like these won't print. If you print them, they'll hide those. I didn't want to put another button down here to confuse or add stuff to it, but this red feature here is a button, and you can click that to go see the individual record that you want to in that portal. You can also go to the actual portal by using the drop-down list and pick the thing that you're looking for. You can go to the property information list view screen or the management screen and go find this particular instance of this report or this property and or the person in that property as far as the tenant is concerned. All those are things that this app is designed to do, is to give you the flexibility to find and very quickly react to certain information within each type of report or screen. Now, if you have questions about how this report is run, let me just show you some of the things. If you're going to do a look up a person, you would start with the start find, and what it'll do is it'll drop down the person's name. You can go ahead and click that in. You can pick the, if you know it already, you can put in the address, but I would skip over that because if you're in Bingham, the address is automatically going to be added anyhow. If you wanted to look for a balance of, say, some amounts that have a balance due on them, you can use a negative number equal to or less than a certain number, or greater than or equal to a certain number. In this case, if there is a negative number in it, you're going to have to use a negative number to find it. And I would do something like negative 0.01. So everything with a negative on it will be picked up. If you're in another field and you want to see if it's been paid, you look at the actual paid amount and you can put in there equal to or greater than 1, and then you'll get that billing and all that information. That being said, let's go ahead and perform the find and see how it looks when we do the perform find. You'll see that now it brought up what would look like the statement. It has some of the information, but one of the things I don't see is the full report. So I'll go up here and I'll click on Run the Report, and now you see what it does. It builds the rest of the report. It highlights all the information. It gives the summary and the subtotal of all the information that you needed in there. And now it looks like a real statement that you want to send to your client and your tenant. So, and also if you have an owner who's offsite and he wants to look at how people are paying their bills and stuff like that, and you're managing for him, he could look at this if it's up on the cloud and see who's paid and who hasn't paid their bills, and may question one way or the other if the bill's being paid correctly. So all that comes into play on this report so that you can more adequately manage the properties. If you have any questions, please contact me by, and by the way, you can do that by clicking here and going down and clicking on the tech support, and that'll take you to the tech support site where you can create a chat and start chatting with me online. That is actually a Skype type of a thing, but you don't need Skype in order for me to chat with you online. Thank you.